It's time for the news review segment. We get to have a conversation on some of the topical issues, and we invite you to join us with your thoughts, your comments and contributions to the various subjects that we will be discussing here in studio. You can do so by sharing your comments with us via WhatsApp. WhatsApp number is on your screens. You can drop a comment on our live feed, which is on Facebook as well as YouTube. You can always tweet at us on X, and you can engage our post on Instagram as well. Once again, you're welcome. We're about to go into the conversations. I have in studio with me a national treasurer hopeful of the New Patriotic Party. Yeah, he's seeking leadership in the NPP, and he's seeking to hold the position of national treasurer. Alfred Thompson is in the studio this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's good to have you.
It's great to be here again.
Yeah.
I've been here for some time.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's good to be back.
Yes. I think the last time was the Ayawasu East.
No, the last time was when we were doing the presidential.
Yes, the primary.
Yeah,
primaries. Then it's really been a while. It's been a while. But you're welcome. It's good to have you. How are the grounds looking?
It's good. It's good, and people are understanding and appreciating what I stand for and where I'm coming from, because most of the times we leave the treasury for people who haven't been in that field to be doing it, and you realize that even though they want to account well to the people, it doesn't go down well, because they don't appreciate accountability and transparency in what they are doing. So I'm bringing those on board, and I'm bringing things that will let people appreciate and come on board to help. Because when someone is contributing even 1 cedi to you, they want to know what the money is being used for.
Yeah.
If you are able to let them see and appreciate what his or her money is being used for, they will want to contribute more.
True.
If we have a membership base of about 2 million people, and every month each person is contributing 1 Ghana cedi,
yeah,
that can go a long way to run the party and run it well. So we're working together. We're going to have a united front in the national executives and make sure that we sync our minds towards the candidate's mind, and we work together towards victory 2028. Because it's not going to be on a silver platter. Indeed,
it's
not going to be on a silver platter. Even with all the mess that is going on, it's not going to be on a silver platter.
It won't be easy at all. Alfred Thompson, we wish you well, and
thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll be here to celebrate the victory together.
Amen.
Very well. Let's get into our business for today. His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama, has engaged organized labor, and he says the reset agenda is commitment to fairness and sustainable growth. From that same meeting, we understand that an emoluments office, or if like committee, is to be established to look at disparities in salaries. There have been concerns that this is actually the work of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. And so why are we bringing in another body or putting together another committee to do the same thing, duplication of functions? And then, of course, we also want to look at the meeting itself with organized labor. What was said before, the realities now, and what is being said to organized labor by the president. So, Alfred, quick thoughts on this.
Thank you. It seems the president is still in a campaign mood. That's how I see him.
He's actually on a tour now, as we speak.
And he's still in a campaign mood.
And his national chairman is on a different tour.
Unfortunately, that's what I was coming to. That it's like he is going on a tour to counter everything that the national chairman is doing.
Oh, really?
Because the national chairman is going on a thank you tour.
Right.
How do you go on a thank you tour without the person who was elected as the leader or the person who should be the president of this country?
But the national chairman also was in the thick of affairs during the campaign
but you
period.
go with your president, then you all go and thank the people. But he realized that for 1 year, the president wasn't moving to go and thank the people for the good work they've done for him or for supporting him, and for our people not coming out to vote. So he decided that, okay, let me do it on my own. I can also go for a tour, so that one day I can also take over the realms of affairs.
Oh, delegation of functions.
So
the
that
president
one
is
day,
busy administering the country. So his national chairman can do a thank you tour on his behalf.
Who made the president the president?
The people of Ghana.
Thank you very much. So when they've made you a president, what do you have to do? The first thing you have to do is to thank them. Is to thank them for what they've done for you. Because it's an honor to be made a president.
Indeed.
It is an honor to be made a president. So if the Ghanaian people have made you the president, you are a servant to them.
True.
Not a master to them. And that is the first thing he has to know.
I don't think the Ghanaian people will understand that indeed there was a lot of work to be done, so he can be an excuse to do the work for, and then his chairman will do the thank you on his behalf.
So far that he came, 1 year, 3 months, give me one policy that is implemented, that is bringing revenue into the stream.
But the gold for reserves policy is still ongoing.
Wasn't it implemented under Dr. Baumia?
It could have been cancelled.
It's something that is already there. That's why I'm saying that give me one policy that he's been able to do that is raking in revenue.
He's established gold board.
It's already there. It was under PMMC.
But
it's just a name change.
You're sure?
They've changed it from PMMC to gold board.
But PMMC did not have the type of authority gold board has.
It was precious minerals.
But gold board has been elevated.
Gold. Gold is precious mineral.
Indeed, it is.
And so when you change a name and continue with the same policy, bravo, you've continued with the policy, but you haven't brought any policy in.
But you've upgraded the status.
By name change.
Gold board now has more authority, more power than
Who told you PMMC? Who told you PMMC didn't have authority and power? Who told you? The gold board has now got power to award a contract to a deputy chief of staff's company or where he holds shares in. Is that the authority that gold board is bringing on board? These are questions we should ask, legitimate questions. There are over how many thousands of people who contributed to make sure that they will elect President Mahama. None of them is a contractor. None of them can renovate a portion
of an office
of the Bank of Ghana, former Bank of Ghana office. It's not the whole building that is going for the Levy million. It's just a portion. 11, in fact, it is 12 million Ghana cedis because it's 11.9. So 12 million Ghana cedis. None of them can do it, apart from someone who has a company that was dealing in furniture for kitchen and for offices and for the homes. A furniture company has now become a building company or a works and housing company that renovates government jobs.
The renovation, I'm not too sure, but may not have been structural renovation. Perhaps interior.
It is. Have you seen the this BOQ?
No.
So check it and see. Everything is included. I have it here. I can show it to you.
Redone the place.
Toilets are being ripped. Bathroom tiles are being ripped. I don't know if the governor who was there, if they're taking their section, the governor was running the place like a Makola washroom, because I don't see how that place should be ripped off and redone. There are certain things you don't even, especially where we are having challenges. A nursing person or a nursing, what do you call it, student or someone who has finished and is working as a nurse, who hasn't been paid for 14 months and is crying for wages, is somewhere in Palawugu or somewhere, who has been taken from Accra, from Cape Coast, from Western region, Takrade, all the way somewhere to Damango, to work, and has not been paid for 14 months. Where she's living, we don't know. How she's eating, we don't know. How she's paying her bills, we don't know.
Transporting herself to and fro.
Passing herself to and from work, we don't know. How she's buying sanitary pads, we don't know. How she's even doing the basic necessities for herself. We don't know and we don't care. But we care about giving contracts. 11, in fact 12 million Ghana cedis to cronies, to people who own the company. They are shareholders. They might not be directors now, but they are shareholders. In Korika. Is that the resetting that agenda that Mahama is going on at all to talk about? You meet organized labor. You go blah, 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 blah. It was 9% he increased their salaries by, isn't it? How much percentage did he increase electricity and water? 29%, isn't it? So the 20% there, that is going to eat into their salaries.
He's announced some 4%. So it will come down to 16 thereabouts.
So let's even assume it's been 20% for some time, 29% for a long time. were shouting that it should be reduced and everything. You didn't care about them. The Mahama case, I wonder what it means. You were not bothered about making sure that if inflation, as we claim, is 3%, why should we increase tariffs when we are saying that the fundamentals are stable?
The CD dollar
is stable. The inflation is down. Why should they go up by 29%? And salaries will go up by 9%. These are legitimate questions Ghanaians are asking. It tells us that something is being cooked. We don't trust the figures.
You don't?
No.
They are not real.
No, but how can you tell me inflation is 3%? Inflation.
Yeah.
When prices of goods and services go up by 3%, not the usual 20 plus, 30 plus percent that it was. When we are leaving office, we had dropped it from 50 something percent to about 23%. We're still bringing it down. Then you tell me that, oh, because inflation is 3%, I've increased your salaries by 9%. However, your utilities that you were paying, which you take from your salary to pay, I've increased it by 29%. Is it gelling?
It doesn't add up.
Thank you very much. So it tells you that there's something fishy going on. But Ghanaians said, let's give him a chance. Because when he was coming, he said, oh, Mahama is the O. And they gave him the chance to become. He told us that, oh, he's been there before. He's come to reset. And truly came to reset. He told us he was doing what? Big push, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's big pushed things. Oh, he's big pushed his brother.
Really?
His brother is a big man now.
Really?
He owns a second jet. One president, one brother, one aircraft. That's what he's done to us. Because the brother was already a businessman. So he doesn't need anything.
Indeed.
But you see, it's so funny.
How so?
That every time when he is the president, the brother buys a new jet.
Well, he's a businessman. He does his plus and minuses. He knows that this is the right time for me to buy a jet.
When he's president, the brother is given a concession of bauxite.
Has he been given a concession of bauxite?
2016, you forgot what happened?
Exton cubic.
Before they left office.
Exton cubic.
You forgot what happened. Ghanaians know. They remember. We don't have short memories. So.
But was it for Ibrahim?
Today, as we sit here,
Damai.
Before Damai, we have the black Volta, the gold. Hasn't he taken over?
But when did the negotiations start?
No, hasn't he taken over?
When did negotiations start?
It's a simple question. Has he taken over or not?
He has.
Whether it started 10 years ago, it took over when his brother became president. Today, as we sit here, Daman is going to him. So
Daman was approved in 2024.
We'll keep on asking questions. It wasn't approved. They said no consent doesn't mean it's approval. No consent is not approval. Let's get it straight. It was approved and they've come to office. In 2024, let's assume that we approved it in 2024. 2025, the whole of 2025, we didn't hear anything about it. 2026.
The lands ministry said no objection.
No objection, yeah.
No objection.
They are going to negotiate with Goldfields, as they claim.
Yeah.
So they don't have any objection to it. You can go ahead and negotiate. That doesn't mean I've approved it. They are two different things. So they should come again. You see, let us not take this country for a ride. Let us not think that Ghanaians have short memories, so we are fools. We see everything that is going on. We might be quiet. They might be quiet. And they are quiet because they can treat you the same way as they treated MPP. When they spoke, and we didn't listen too well, they kept quiet. And they decided not to vote. Foot soldiers are crying. Your people are crying because you promised them 133. One has not even been done for the 3-3 to follow. But you've been able to do 1-1-1. A new set agenda.
The bill has been signed into law. So we will wait to see the establishment of the authority and then what becomes of it.
You can sign anything. But if you don't let the people feel it on ground, it's nothing. The 3% inflation, do you feel it? Do you feel it?
The micro and the macro are not the same.
Yesterday, I went to buy fuel. It's gone up.
Yeah, fuel prices have gone up.
3% is working. Isn't it? Dollar is working, isn't it? But every liter I buy, they are charging me 1 Ghana cedi.
Yeah. The 1 cedi.
Every liter of fuel I buy. Government could have said that, listen, Mama cares. We are taking it off because of the global economic crisis that are going on now. Because these crises from Iran and US, it's not just Iran and US. It's a global thing.
Yeah.
As we told them, Ukraine was global and they didn't appreciate. We would appreciate it and say that, yes, it's global. However, we expect you to do local things. Because when ICE happened, at least, electricity and water for 6 months were free. We might have updated a bit to recoup the money and pay. However, for the 6 months that people were struggling, for about over 1 week that people were not going to work, how do you expect them to get money to go and pay for such things?
But after you gave us COVID levy.
Yes, to recoup. Because now people are working, people are doing business. So we'll give you taxes at the time we feel that business is thriving now. So we'll recoup it and then take it off, pay off the debt that is there. But at the time of crisis, we cannot charge you. At the time of crisis, we thought about what you were going through. At the time of crisis, we're looking at someone who needs water to wash his hands every day. And if he cannot buy and pay for it, how do you expect him to wash his hands? You are spreading the disease. That is a thinking government. That is a caring government. That is a government who thinks about people. It's not by words. It's by your actions and your deeds. Because what you do is what people feel and see. And that is what they are teaching us today. The big push. Let's push our family up. Let's push our people up. Let them be more bigger businessmen across the globe. Let them buy more aircrafts so that I can enjoy it and sit in and ride it. That is a big push. That is the meaning of the big push. The Agenda 111 that they said they didn't care about, they've created their own Agenda 111, and that's what they are using now.
Which is what?
One president, one brother, one aircraft. It's Agenda 111.
Come on.
Oh, that is the truth. The hospitals they don't care about because the hospitals will serve a lot of people.
But his brother is a private individual, a businessman who has bought a jet. But for politics, if your brother has a jet and you fly in it, are there any qualms there?
If I'm on an official trip, I will not use my brother's property.
But you wouldn't consider the cost to the taxpayer?
I will not use my brother's. I prefer to fly commercial.
At the expense of the taxpayer?
But how much is commercial?
But as a president, your safety and security matters.
But
so
they check all these things.
But
always says when you are flying the brother's jet, it's not security AE.
At least your internal comms, you can guarantee.
Have you checked all the security measures in it?
That's a brother you can trust not to engage in espionage against the country. So
do you know those who are serving? Do you know whether even the brother is not paying the pilot was? So the pilot was angry that morning when he was leaving. These are all things that we don't know. But we have to think about all these things. The air hostess who is serving you, do you know what she went through this morning before boarding? Have we checked all these things? There are so many questions we can ask. What we are saying is that we have sat in this country where we lost the president and spent millions in burying that president. We don't want it to happen again. Spare us the details. That is my brother's aircraft. Spare us the details. That is my brother's something.
You'd rather he flies commercial?
I'd rather he does that. That's what Okujedu told us. When President Akufo-Addo was flying in a private jet, what did they tell him? They said the aircraft, the presidential jet, was in pristine condition. That's the word they use. Pristine condition. What has gone wrong? If the aircraft hasn't had an accident, it hasn't blasted, as we are seeing these days, nothing has gone wrong. The pristine condition.
Should we risk it?
But it's in pristine condition.
Is it?
You told us.
But
that's what they told us. Okujedo was an expert. When he was going from station to station, taking papers by papers, calling figures that were not true, he was telling us that, oh, he's intercepted. He's intercepted. And we sat down quietly and watched him. At that time, President Akufo-Addo too could have said that, my brother, you are also a businessman. You've been doing oil and gas for years. Also go and buy a private jet and let me use it. He could have said that. But he thought about the nation. That even though he was a businessman, there are certain things you don't do. Because anything you do will go against your brother and the party he belongs to. And that is why we brought in the code of conduct. And that is why today, a deputy chief of staff can decide that my company can also go and bid for a contract that should have gone to the ordinary foot soldier, the ordinary person who contributed to the party, the person who helped you become the deputy chief of staff. They should have left it for party people.
Yeah.
And other Ghanaians who are interested in doing that.
You should spread the opportunities wise.
Yes. Focus. You are being paid. Focus on your job. Let others too get some. Let others too benefit from the contributions they've done for this party. You could bring ordinary food soldiers together, create a company for them, let them go and bid. Then they come and tell us that, oh, it was what do you call it? It wasn't sole sourcing, but it was competitive bidding. Bank of Ghana, I can show you, their last renovation for that place was open to the public for anyone to bid for it. Bank of Ghana, which is the treasury of this nation. They carry everything of this nation, including the gold and everything.
Gold. Yeah.
That's they've sold some now at a cheaper rate and buying it back at a more expensive rate, which will come to one day. They even opened it up for the public to bid for renovation works. How much more gold bought a small entity? You see, they can scream as much as they like. They can lie to us as much as they like. We'll say it, and we'll say it nicely. We won't say it with insults, but we'll tell you the truth. We'll tell you what we know, and we'll sit down quietly and watch you till December 7th, 2028, where we'll take a decision. Because the party people will tell you that when they suffered for you, what did you do for them? If they had expanded the 1D, 1F that was started, you know the number of jobs that were created within 1 year. But they told us that they were not interested. Everything, they are not interested.
Did the 1D, 1F live up to its purpose under the Akufo-Addo administration?
At least, we have over 150 companies operating. It's employment that has been created. Add another 150 within the 4 years. Do you know how many jobs you are going to create? Do you know how many people you are going to establish them? Today, you are being told that people are given akukon kete. Some are getting 10, as low as 10.
10 beds.
Yeah. And anyone who has done poultry will tell you that out of the 10 beds, some will die. So you can get about 7. That is the best case scenario. You can get about 7. The 7, bring them up within a matter of 3-4 months. Are they going to lay for you? How many are you going to kill from it? Within those times, what will you eat? How will you eradicate poverty? But when you support someone to establish a business, you are creating an avenue for families to enjoy. When you bring agric officers, 7, 5 together, and say that, listen, in Western region, these agric students who have finished school, we are going to establish a commercial poultry farm for you. Government has 60%. You have 40%. The 40% shares is for you, the directors who are going to run the company. So everything you do, we'll check and make sure that you are bringing in the right revenue. Because those who are getting the akokon, don't forget that they're going to give them feed and everything. So you can do that for the large-scale commercial farming. Do you know how many lives, how many families, how many businesses would have flourished from that in Western region? Then you do another one every 6 months. Let me put in a new one. You do another region. Another 6 months, you do another region. So every year you are doing 2. Within your first 4 years, how many have you done? 8.
8.
And these are 8 commercial farms, not 8 individual farms. Commercial, viable, large-scale farms. So people will now be working as an entity within that place. They will get employment more. Because if you give me 10 beds, or let's say 50, I don't need laborers. I can run it myself because I don't have the money to support them.
Right.
But when I take into a commercial farming, it's going bigger and better. So you employ more people.
True.
If the beds even die, let's say 10% even die out of that commercial farming, and you are not going to deal with 10, 50, 20 beds. You are going to deal with over 500 beds, over 1,000 beds, over 20,000 beds. That's the commercial farm you are going into. Over 50,000 to 100,000 plus beds. So you are going into a big venture. But you can start it gradually. And then you get the school of business and other people to come in and train them on the managerial side.
True.
You are creating business.
But it starts from somewhere. I mean,
it starts from 5 beds or 10
you
beds.
mentioned the there's the Feed Ghana ongoing. The president is beginning the establishment of the farmer service centers.
Do you know this
from
week?
Friday.
Do you know this week? They did an agri-tech fair.
Agro-tech fair at the Independence Square.
Agro is what? Into agric.
Yeah.
The Minister of Agric wasn't part of it. It's Minister of Trade.
But trade now has agribusiness attached to it. So it's Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry.
So they've taken the agribusiness from the agric.
So that the agric stands on its own, deals with the production, food security, and all, which is agric, proper agric.
That is what
and then the trade ministry will handle the business side of it.
You see how we play with the lives of people? We just joke with the lives of people. We just play around them. We say one thing and do another. We act as if Ghanaians cannot look beyond. We are hurting people. We are hurting lives. We are making this country very hard and painful to live in. Because one person comes, changes names, that's what he wants, and walks away. Another person comes and decides that I want to create a new name. I want to do something new. I want to do something different. They'll do another thing for themselves for years and walk away.
But that's what you politicians do to us.
It's not we politicians. It's some people who have decided that they think that the country is at their beck and call. I can become president, go away and come another 4 years and come and do whatever I like. Because one would have thought that we would have learned a lot of lessons from the last 4 years that we lost elections, or 8 years that we were in opposition. But it seems that no, it's worse than before. But it's because the people are not talking. That doesn't mean people are fools. They are not talking doesn't mean they are fools. They are not talking doesn't mean they don't know what is going on, or they can't see what is going on, or they can't feel what is going on. Because the nurse who hasn't been paid for 14 months will shout and scream, but you tell them that, hold on, I don't have enough money to increase the wage bill. Isn't that what they are telling us? But meanwhile, you have enough money to increase the security wage bill from 5,000 to 10,000 without any budget to prove that I'm going to get another 5,000 to pay for the security personnel. 1.5 years that you've been in power, you have been able to only employ or recruit 5,000 people to train them. When there was chaos and talk about it, instead of looking at how you can manage the whole situation and do a gradual thing, you said, let's increase it to 10,000 because within 4 years I want to take 40,000 instead of 20,000. Where is the wage bill to do that? At the moment, we are even looking at borrowing to pay salaries. So what are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to ourselves? Why are we doing this to Ghanaians? Why do we think that people are not in to think and help and serve the nation? And I started by saying, service in that capacity is to the people and not to yourself, not to your family, not to your brothers and sisters, but to the people who brought you to that high and prestige office. We need to ask ourselves questions, and we need to seriously rethink where we want to go to as a nation, bringing everybody on board and helping everybody to get somewhere. We can't be sitting in the office, enjoying the largesse of the office, and then also go for businesses that could have gone to the ordinary Ghanaian through our companies. We can't be doing that.
So you doubt it when the president says that the reset agenda is committed to fairness and sustainable growth?
How can it be commitment to fairness and sustainable growth? Where is the fairness? Where I'm being paid by the government of Ghana and I'm running a company, I'm a shareholder of a company who is taking business from the government of Ghana. Where is the fairness? When the ordinary person is not getting anything to do. Where is the fairness? Where is the fairness? When over 1 year, I have told investigative bodies to interrogate my vice chairman of my party and my, deputy organizer of the party, Yamin. And up to now, there are no results or report on it. Then over a year, you come and tell me that, oh, it seems like my party people are more involved in this, so it's a difficult fight to fight.
What do you make of that statement?
I think it's hypocritical. It's very hypocritical. You see, they think that we don't know what is going on. Who didn't know from day one that across board NDC executives were doing galamsey? Have you forgotten Eastern Region? The clash between the NDC chairman and the security people that were saying that the chairman's son was highly involved in this. What happened? Nothing. Yamin and Abanga, what has happened? Nothing. So you can't come and tell me after a year that, oh, now I've realized that it's party people who are getting involved. It's hypocritical. Because as a government institution, if it's taking you over 1 year to investigate just two of your people to come and tell us that yes, they were involved and they have been punished, you think others will not do it?
Very well, very well. Let me just say at this point that we made some changes to our guests from the NDC side this morning. Some last-minute change. However, the replacement also, we are being told, has just been involved, unfortunately, in an accident. We're hoping it's not that serious, and also working to get a second replacement to come in. So we're wishing him well, and hoping that it's not a serious, it's not good news at all this morning. But I'll take a few quick messages. This one says, good morning, Anna. I admire your guest, Alfred. He communicates very well, on point, with facts, devoid of insults. He should keep it up. This is Kweju Mafo from Kwewu Jamase.
Thank you very much.
This one says, hi, the NPP cannot be trusted at all in government. They introduced Momo e-levy, which they indicated will solve all our economic problems, hence no need for IMF loans. We complained bitterly for its removal, but that government refused. Today, the NPP wants the energy levy removed and even referred the NDC government as wicked. At least we are seeing the independent power producers not agitating, because this government is spending the money judiciously and in a very transparent manner, unlike the previous NPP governments. Harsh Momo levy, e-levy, till date, the benefits are unknown. They should give us a break. That's Papa Bisu from Spintex in Accra. This one says, good morning, Anna. Honorable Thompson is having a field day lecturing us on good policies they never implemented, and now crying as if he has any sympathy for the citizens they subjected to torture in 8 years. Okay, these are your thoughts. Keep sending your messages in. We'll do our best to read them. But we have a crisis on our hands, not internal, external.
So I'll respond to the two. Bisu, Papa Bisu, briefly, and the last one. Yeah. Papa Bisu says what?
He says that the MPP cannot be trusted at all, and that you introduced the e-levy.
Yes.
And to
when I was speaking, if you had listened to me, I told him that there were better pills we had to take. We had to give free electricity and free water, but we had to take it back and pay for the debt that was there. So it's not as if we didn't know what was going on. There were global crises. Don't forget there was COVID. Immediately COVID, in fact, before COVID started, we did the banking sector cleanup. We had to clean the banking sector, because if you want your economy to grow, you have to make sure that your financial sector is safe. And that's what we had to do. The mess they created, and World Bank told them that they should clean it up, and they couldn't. They were rather giving more money to people to run banks and run Ponzi scheme. Because they were transferring money from here to there, making cha-cha and making sure that people did not see what was going on. So we had to clean it up for them.
And it resulted in a number of job losses.
It was a bitter pill. But if you don't do that, the whole nation, the financial sector will collapse. Can you imagine when your country's financial sector is gone?
It's gone.
What can you do in the country? Nothing. You'll just be fetching water in a basket that is not sealed. So we had to do that. Then we had a strong economy to grow. That's why we went to 1 trillion and over.
Yeah.
But in doing that, we didn't finish cementing the foundation. Then the COVID came in. We had to struggle. And that was when the famous saying of President Nana, he knows how to bring back the economy. But cannot bring back lives. So we needed to work hard to save lives, which we did. Whilst the COVID was coming, it was coming and going, and as if it was going to an end, then the Russia-Ukraine war came in. We acted as if, in fact, the opponents who are now in government acted as if we were on an island. How does it affect Ghana? Today, America, Israel, and Iran is affecting Ghana.
That's where I was actually going to.
Today it's affecting Ghana. And it's true, it will affect Ghana because we are not an island. Next to us is not Iran, it's Togo. Next to us is not USA, it's Ivory Coast. And Burkina Faso, who is also up the task, is not Israel. So we are not surrounded by these countries to say that, oh, they are throwing bombs over, so fuel prices and things should go up. The economy can't come to a standstill.
Sure.
To tell you the truth, the economy is still not stable enough to hold external shocks.
The Bank of Ghana says that Ghana is in a stronger position to withstand external shocks.
But the same Bank of Ghana is saying that we should pray that the war doesn't go on. Because if it goes on, we cannot stand it. Isn't it the same governor saying the same thing? Because he knows that the economy is not that strong enough to stand external shocks, to the extent that if we go for 6 months, 1 year, we'll be in trouble.
And that's why they're rolling out the program to increase our buffer. So we can at least have some 15 months.
Do you increase buffer when you're in crisis, or you increase buffer before crisis starts?
Well, I think the announcement was made in Parliament before this war started.
Oh, so as the buffer started? You know that we had, when President Kufuor was leaving office, we had 8 tons of gold as our reserves. You know, when Nana Addo came into office, 8 years of NDC, they didn't increase 1 ton. When Nana Addo came into office, we increased it for up to about almost 40,000 tons. No, when we were leaving office, it was more than the 36. So let's assume even 40,000 tons. You know, they've sold some of it without increasing it. They've sold some of those reserves that we can use in times of crisis. We are creating it out of the wisdom. And that is why I told you that PMMC was working even more than what we were expecting of them. Bank of Ghana was working more than what we were expecting of them. Because at that time, even with all the challenges that were going on, we are looking beyond today. So that when all these things are coming on board, we don't have these challenges. You can quickly, in times of serious crisis, pick some of the gold and turn it into cash to support your people.
Very well. Let's look at this Middle East tensions, its impact on Ghana.
Let me just land on this one. So BCU should give us a break. The last person was talking about the energy crisis. Today, as we sit here, in my area, last Saturday, lights went off 4 times. Let callers call in and see. They will tell you that they don't know whether Doomsaw is back or whether they are just flipping with our lights. We were paying energy debts. We came to meet a lot, and we are paying a lot. And NDC will still pay a lot, and will still come and meet a lot to pay. Because I have said it, we are not at the position where our economy is so stable that we won't get any shocks. So they should give us a break. Come to the Middle East.
Middle East tensions, impact on Ghana, and just yesterday, a call from the minority for the removal of this 1 cedi fuel levy.
Because we are talking about increment in fuel. Yesterday I went to the pump, 1,500 plus. Even that one wasn't full. When, in fact, I told them that fill the tank for me. When it was 1,002 and I saw that the 10 wasn't getting to full, I told him that 1,005 cut off because I can't afford it. But that is me, 1,500. That is someone's monthly salary.
True.
If he's going to take trotro and prices have been increased, it's cut down on his monthly salary. If he's going to take taxi, Pragia, moto. In fact, I went to a vicinity or constituency. The motor charge was more than even taking what do you call it, taxi in Accra. And I asked her why. Was
the road good? Because sometimes the cars refuse to go where the road is not good. So the motor going will charge higher.
That is what they told me.
Yeah.
And it's not far away. It's just around Suedro.
Oh, wow.
Suedro to Abodom.
Oh, okay.
When you're taking a motor, it's more expensive. So you ask yourself, would the ordinary Ghanaian be able to accommodate these external shocks that we want to rake in and say that you are stabilizing the system? Government should sometimes think outside the box. Government should look at the plight of the people and help them when these exogenous factors come into play.
How can the government do so?
The 1 cedi levy was cool. I mean, you are raking in to support your system and take some of the debt off. But when challenges like this come, you stop it a bit and say that, listen, I'm taking it off for the increment in, transport levy go down. So you can still stabilize yourself. When things are a little bit better, like the buffer they are talking about, these are buffers. So you take it off for people to enjoy or stay in a proper working condition. When someone is coming to work and doesn't know how to board because they don't have money, and I can tell you for a fact that sometimes it gets to a time when you don't have even 1 cedi in your pocket. It happens to me. So I know it can happen to an ordinary person. When I tell people sometimes that, listen, I don't have cash on me, they tell me, but how, you, Alfred? I said, yes. Because sometimes your budget for the month, you've exceeded it beyond
in days.
This thing. So you don't want to even go more
beyond.
Because if you're not careful, you will say, oh, tomorrow you should think about yourself, let's do it, let's go. And by the time you realize, you are done. Then you start thinking so much, you start walking to work and walking back. Then ailment starts coming in. You can't take care of yourself. Then people will come and sit down and say that, oh, when to me I he couldn't take care of himself. Oh, this guy, he's not serious. He's not this thing. But the challenges you are going through, it's not everything that people are able to come out and say. Sometimes I give people the chance just to come and talk to me, not because I can give them money, but just to ease the tension and pain they are going through. It's a source of help, medical help to them. Because when you talk to people and you try and give them scenarios where they can help themselves, at least they feel cool a bit. People are tensed.
So this call, is it for a temporary removal or a permanent removal? That after we come out of the crisis, it's reintroduced?
At least for now. Let us do it temporal. For now. Let us take it off. Let people not feel that pain within this serious or dire time.
If we are asking that it be taken off now because fuel prices are going up, then let's factor in the reasons for which it was introduced in the first place. It was introduced to address critical energy sector shortfalls, particularly the procurement of liquid fuels. We still need the liquid fuels for power generation.
Let me ask you, the liquid fuels are always tagged to the dollar. If we've been able to bring the dollar stabilized to about 10 Ghana cedis to $1, what is all this hula baloo about?
But then we also know that these tensions will definitely have an impact on the cedi-dollar relation.
You see, you were saying that during MPP's time, dollar was about 14, 15 Ghana cedis. So definitely the rate will be higher. Now you've been able to make a savings by bringing it to 10. That 4 or 5 Ghana cedi savings is also a buffer for you to pay off some of the debt, isn't it?
True.
So if you've made that buffer, what would the 1 Ghana cedi do for you? At this
as against the 5 cedi.
At this particular point in time, what would the 1 Ghana cedi do for you? Because that break there is supposed to help bring the debt down. So what we are saying is that at this point in time, if you're not careful, transport fares will start going up. People will start shouting. People will start complaining. People will start missing jobs or this and work. What are we going to do? Are we going to crash? Or let us manage them so that they give their maximum best, and then we come in. Because already, don't forget that the 133 you promised them at the ministry, you are not doing it. The person is working from 9 to 5. He's not working from maybe 7 or 6 to 12, and another person from another 6 to 3 or 4, and the last person from 5 to 12 midnight or to the next 6. So it tells us that the 133 hasn't worked. What we have, let's hold it. Let's hold it firm and guard it.
Alfred, let me ask you, do you think US, Israel, Iran will be to Mahama as Russia, Ukraine was to Akufo-Addo?
We don't wish him that. But we need to guard ourselves
against it,
against external shocks. We don't wish him that. Because it's not a good sight. What we went through, we will never wish anybody to go through. No matter how bad you said things against us. Because whatever we went through did not affect us as MPP alone. It affected the whole nation. So we don't want that to happen. Because whatever they will go through would affect the whole nation. We don't wish them evil. We don't wish them bad. We'll pray that it doesn't happen. Because the little things they are doing is what is going to take them out of power. It's not the US, Israel, Russia, Iran war. It's not that is going to take them out. A deputy chief of staff lobbying and getting his own company to be given an award. That is going to take you out of power.
We've been told it was competitive
because do you know what competitive bidding is? I can decide. You see, I can decide who will get a contract in competitive bidding when I open it. And the days that he brought, even the day that he went to submit, and also the day that he went to do the renewal at Works and Housing, of which he hasn't done any contract before. The furniture he has to buy for 1.5 million, that another company was giving another award of furniture for the whole office for 1.2 million. The ordinary foot soldier, you could have sourced him to do that. So that at least he will also get something to do and he will get something out of this. That is what is going to take them out of power. Because the arrogance of power, when we are talking about it, when we are telling them your people are suffering, the people who helped you to be there, the people who walked on their foot, sacrificed for you to be there. So now you are getting government salary. Let that person also get some contract to do and feel that, oh yes, they didn't forget about me. But you want to grab all because you think you are in power. You think now you are the couple. You think now you are in charge. So let me do what I want to do. 4 years, when I go, you can also come and do what you want to do. You think it doesn't hurt them?
And we don't even build a nation.
Don't forget that 2.1 people that voted for MPP decided not to vote because they felt that the party was not treating them well. It's not as if NDC got any extraordinary votes. When you check the votes that President Nanado got in 2020 as against Mohammed's own, and you check the votes Mahama got in 2024, it tells you that there wasn't any wide or big difference in votes. There wasn't any extraordinary thing. It's just that 2.1 people decided that enough is enough. I'm not going to help you.
There was apathy that cost you.
Yes, because you are cheating me too much. That cocoa farmer, you went to promise him, I'll give you between 6,000 to 7,000 Ghana cedis for a bag of your distant beans. Who you are now giving 2,500. Let's even take the average of between 6 to 7 to be 6,500. You have shortened him 4,000 Ghana cedis. Where is that 4,000 Ghana cedis going to? And how does he fend for himself when he's budgeted and made sure that, when Mahama comes into power, I'm voting for him. So that when he comes into power, I'll get at least 6,000 or 6,500. So I can pay my child's fees. I can renovate my house.
Yeah.
I can put things in place. The woman who was crying in the cocoa farm the last time when I was watching it on news, she said even paying of fees has become a problem for her.
Yeah. Because
even the bags that you've bought, that you claim you will give me 2,500, you are not even doing that. We are begging them. They should take the plight of the people. They should be sensitive about people's lives.
Yeah.
They have been there before. They have been there before.
Yeah.
Before you became president, whilst you are an assemblyman, you went through difficulties. Everybody, no matter how rich your dad is, has gone through a difficult portion in your life. So you should know how people go or what people go through and how people manage to do certain things.
2 quick messages here. Good morning. Ask Thompson which economy in the world is strong enough to withstand the shocks of the Middle East war. And then this one says, good morning, Nana. So we have an NPP person who has all these brilliant ideas and he didn't talk for the whole 8 years? There's a question.
Did I not talk?
But Alfred has been talking
Did
since.
I not talk? Even when my government was in power, I was criticizing. I was telling them that there are certain things that will not help. I'm an open person. I say it as it is. If my government is in power or not.
Very well. Let's take a quick break here. But let's also remind you that invitations were extended to the NDC. Our initial guest was unable to make it. His replacement this morning has unfortunately suffered an accident. We are praying with him and hoping that it's not a serious accident. We're still looking to get a third replacement to come in studio for the conversations to continue. This is Breakfast Daily here on ChannelOne Television. Keep sending your messages in. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll read them and then we'll continue the conversations. You're welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. This is Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne Television. You're watching the news review segment of the show. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. I'm here with Alfred Thompson. He's a National Treasurer aspirant for the New Patriotic Party, the NPP, and we've been having conversations all morning, moving from the engagement between the president and organized labor. We've discussed the Middle East tensions and its impact on Ghana, the call by the minority for the removal of the 1 cedi fuel levy. We're now looking at the Electricity Company of Ghana and this rapid depletion of credits from its meters. There have been concerns across the country from consumers. Yesterday, as part of the minorities press conference, they made a demand for the publication of the investigative findings. Alfred, I don't know, did you also experience this depletion of credits from your ECG meter?
Everyone experienced it. Everybody experienced it.
It was serious.
And has the report come out?
We understand it's concluded, but it's not been made public yet.
Are they going to whitewash it before they bring it out? What is keeping them?
That we are not sure.
What is keeping them?
Yeah.
Because you see, it affects the ordinary Ghanaian. So by now, this report should have been made public. And they tell us the measures they are going to take. When they went to do their security recruitment, the day the president landed was the day he met the interior minister and the security capos to decide to do it from 5,000 to 10,000. But electricity, that you've sent it to 29%, that Ghanaians are already suffering for it and they are experiencing some amount of doomsday or fluctuations and paying more. And you've done an investigation into it. Finished for over a week or two ago. How many? He gave them 7 days. So it's about almost 3 weeks or so now since the report should have come out. You don't think you have to let us know. You see, what NDC is forgetting is that they are not working for themselves. Politics, you are voted in to serve the people, not to be bosses over the people, not to decide to do what you want to do as and when for the people. You need to let the people feel and appreciate that you are working for them. So if you can't do that, sit aside. That's all we are asking for. If you can't do that, sit aside. If you have to change government over government every 4 years to get the right fit to do the work that they have to do, so be it. But we won't allow people, as we live, to come and ride Ghanaians and think that now that you voted me to power, I'm a boss over you. I'm not serving you. It's service to the people. Service to the ordinary Ghanaian. Make the people happy. And God has a nice and funny way of removing governments, no matter how much money you pump in. Because when you don't serve the people, when you don't take care of his people, he takes you off and brings another person.
True.
He takes you off and brings another person. I don't see why it's a big deal. Take one Ghana cedi off, I won't do. Let us know what has happened to all of us who experienced this. I traveled from my place and I went to Cape. When I got there, the lady who stays there, she says, me talk credit anasa. When I buy credit, then it gets finished. There's something wrong with the meter or the distance. If you can get ECG to come and do it, because it's draining me. Meanwhile, the day I left my place, Tema, I had bought 1,000 Ghana cedis in less than, and I live there alone. There's nothing much doing there. Most of the time I'm out of the house. Sometimes the 1,000 could take me a month and a week, 1 month, 1 week. But in less than 2 weeks,
it had run out.
I was just checking my CCTV and I realized that it was off. So I called the guy in the area, go and check what is happening in the house, because it seems like because I've given him a key that when I'm not there and there's a problem, I can quickly call him. He went and he said the lights were off.
Oh, wow.
And I said, what, is it finished on the meter? He said, yes. So immediately, I remember Dr. Baumia had helped us to be able to buy ECG online. So I bought it, and he said it had come back on. So now I had to buy it every 2 weeks.
Same amount?
Yeah. Just to make sure it doesn't go off. Because that is how I check my house when I'm out. And most of the time I'm out, I move from place to place. I travel from to and fro. This weekend, for example, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'll be back by Monday. And so everybody is going through these crises. It's just for us. We are begging them. If you don't respect us, we are just begging you, the government, let us know the report and the remedy that is going to be given to all of us. Because it's not a good side for us. We are not having it easy. Already, the challenges we are going through, you might be getting free electricity and water because you're a minister. You might be getting a generator in your house. When the lights go off, you can switch on easily. But the tomato seller cannot buy that generator. The trotro driver cannot buy that generator. After working hard the whole day, will get to his house, and the little income he's had would have to go and buy credits onto his meter. It's sad. It's painful.
When the president met with organized labor, he asked that they support the restructuring of ECG.
How do they support it?
You know, there's been objections to, like, the government doesn't want to say privatization of ECG, but they want to say private participation.
And that is why I said, how do they support it? The government should give us its game plan. Let us discuss it. Let us honestly come in and say that, yes, what you want to do is good. It's going this way, but it won't help us. Okay, organized labor, not other people. We have so much in our purse. We will invest in it so that we can reap the benefits instead of maybe going to put it in the bank. So instead of getting foreign, foreign participation, locally, we can get our people to also participate and hold shares in it. So that we all hold each other accountable. In whatever we are doing. When I've contributed into your organization, that is when I can ask a lot of questions. This is a Ghanaian-owned company. So apart from me being a Ghanaian, participating in it, I also have shares in it. Why can't government be open and transparent and do that for us? And these are some of the things I have decided to bring on the treasury table. We have to be transparent to our people so that they can hold us accountable. We have to be accountable to them so that they can ask questions. We don't have to wait and let them be agitated before you come and tell organized labor, buy into my dream. What is the dream? I don't know. All I know is that you want to privatize, I don't want to privatize. Oh, because I accused the previous government of trying to sell ECG.
Yeah.
They were not selling ECG. In fact, the previous government brought in a local participation to make sure that they rake in money. And after some time, it goes back to ECG. But hey, how broke loose? They say yen changing a year. So people decided that, okay, let's cancel the whole thing. Let us sit back and watch. God being so good, you are now in power. 1 year, 3 months, you can't tell us what you are doing. You had all the ideas. 1 year, 3 months, you can't tell us what you are doing. For us to know that stabilization is in ECG. All the challenges are going out one by one. In fact, the first time you got into office, what you made us believe was that people had rigged and milked ECG. That there were containers at the port that were missing. It turned out that it wasn't true. Containers had been moved from, there are various sectors in the port, from one sector to another. Because you can't keep things at the doorstep where you cross every day.
It creates congestion.
Thank you. So you have to move it into another holding place for others. You didn't do your work well. You didn't seek advice. You didn't seek interventions. Then you came out. The same thing that happened in Gogo Board. And all the places that were doing that, now you see that God wiped their bottom clean.
They've been exposed.
Seriously. Seriously. Gross incompetence happening in Cocoa Board because the CEO refused to see that cocoa prices had gone up. I had given them I had made my mind that I'll give them 6,000. At the moment where it is, it's around 8,000. Let me hedge there. But he wanted to get more and give them less. Greed set in.
Yeah.
And then prices decided to what? Come down. Now you're in trouble. And you're coming to blame the previous government that they had caused it because they bought juice sacks. They had caused the price drop because they didn't put things well. They had caused the price drop because there was a debt there.
I don't think he's blaming them for the price drop. He's blaming them for the inability to pay.
The price dropped because at the end of the day, you couldn't hedge. You couldn't think smart and hedge.
Oh, you mean the farm gate price?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You
the
couldn't
farm
hedge.
gate price, yes.
So any problem that you are blaming on the opposition, that they were in government, they couldn't do ABCD, has got nothing to do with that.
If we had done the forward sales when the price was around 8,000, the
Straight
story would have
away,
been different.
straight away, Cocoa Board would have been smiling. They would have been smiling. Ghanaian farmers, cocoa farmers, would have been crying and asking that, hey, how are we going to win the next elections? Today, when the minority is going even to talk to the farmer, and these people organize themselves that they are not going to allow them to go. Can you imagine?
They obstructed them?
Yes. It took the police yesterday to tell them that, hey.
In the Ashanti region?
Yes. Who the hell do you think you are? Stand aside. They have every power and might to go and talk to them. You see, we shouldn't think we are thin gods. We shouldn't think we are semi-gods. We shouldn't think we are demigods when we come into power and when we are in office. The people that brought you up are the same people that will bring you down.
Yeah.
Because if you don't respect them to tell them the truth and walk the truth in power and think you are still in a campaign mood and give big promises, I'll tell you the truth. You cannot sit down with organized labor and tell them that they should support you because they don't know what they are going to support. They don't know where they are going to come from. But organized labor should start planning behind closed doors themselves. They have enough funding. The dues they are taking, they should buy shares in ECG. They should own shares in ECG. It's not always that you have to go and bank your money.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere that you can also rake in. There are so many organizations that are getting employee levies. These are companies that you can manage, so that when you have bigger shares in it, organized labor, you can decide who becomes the ECG boss.
Yeah.
And you can decide who should not be an ECG boss. You can kick, high, and operate the place as a commercial entity. That is how we run an institution. And government will have little shares in it.
A credit to a vanishing. Investigations have been conducted. We've not seen the report.
No reports.
But the minister has announced that from next month, ECG will be rolling out new meters.
How did they roll out the meters?
That they've brought in new meters.
One of my houses have been asking for a meter for over 2 years now. They said the 3-phase meter is not there.
So perhaps this is what they are bringing.
I'm begging John, if they have a meter, they should call me today. I'll pick it up. Because it's a worry.
Yeah.
That you ask, you seek, and you are not getting.
You are not getting.
And then ECG will turn back and say that it's your fault. It's your fault that what? You take meters, and then the meters start quadrupling and things.
Yeah.
And you don't know how it's going. Is this someone who tuned something at the main office? We need to know the truth of this investigation. We don't mind they bringing out meters. We don't mind they even changing some of the old meters. But for how long will this go on? Because it's like every government that comes in, it's a recycle. They bring their own type of meters.
Yeah.
Then a new one will come and say that, oh, these meters are obsolete.
So let's
use
change it.
nice big words. Obsolete. So let's change them. Then someone has a cash cow.
Yeah, procurement contract.
Someone within, that knows within, would also have a procurement contract. When the ordinary person, who is an electrical engineer, who is working with ECG, who has an import company that can import the meters, will be sidelined. And they'll come and tell us that it's competitive bidding. Nice way of milking a nation.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
So what are your expectations from this report? People being held accountable at the end of the day, and affected persons being compensated? Would that be a perfect summary of a report for you?
We need to know the content of the report first, whether one is genuine and truthful. Once you do that, because you know it was ECG themselves that conducted this.
Yes.
We need to get, by now, we should have gotten an external body to also do a research or investigation into it to see whether the reports tally. If not, then we now start asking certain questions. Because if I'm sitting here and working here with you, and maybe I've done something untoward, I can't come and tell you that, I did something wrong, so I'm not going to do this, or I'm going to do that. I'll manage the report. And that is why we are saying that when you are working within government and go and take a contract, there's a nice way of managing the person who is given the contract, whether competitive or single source, to give you the contract. So I implore on the minister, what he could do was that he can get, there are serious technical people there. My own classmate, Ken Ashibe, is an electrical engineer. He should be able to, form a committee to investigate some of these things. They come out and they tell us the report.
Engineer have time. He's busy with Chamber of Mines.
He's busy with Chamber of Mines and Galamsey, but now I think the Galamsey is going down because Chamber of Mines is working within the Galamsey enclave. But if you give him 1 week or 2 weeks, I believe that in every organization you take leave. He can take at least a week or two to do some of these things, or he can even nominate someone, or they can go to what do you call it, Institute of Engineers. They can get people there. They can get quality people there who can do this for them, maybe for free. Some committees we don't need to pay them. They can do it for free because sometimes people just want to put their name that I was part of those who did this good work. We are too quick to get our people, our friends, to come and sit on committees and pay them and give them tea.
With biscuits or
with biscuits? Tea with biscuits. Sometimes people can do things because they are proud to be associated with it. And then they do a good report and bring it to you.
Indeed.
Then after that, you can give them stipend or award them something. They'll be happy. We should look at all these things. We should try and have an innovative way of running this country, rather than doing it the same old way, where immediately we go and form a committee. They sit down, they get stipends, they get some this thing for sitting allowance, drink all the teas and coffees, have all the lunches they like, sometimes even add dinners, Chinese restaurants, store it, and then give us a report that is put on a shelf, and another report put on it and hidden for 3 weeks plus.
At least by now we should know what happened, how it happened.
But you see, agrobeso if you're not patutu.
True.
Because if the president has called an investigative body into Yamin and Abanga, and for over 1 year, we haven't heard anything. It's worrying. If we sit in the country,
investigations take time.
1 year, if the national security, the now BNI or NIB, that they are changing the name to BNI.
We've gone back to BNI.
Cannot do a report on Galamsey and what the effects are and who are involved. Then it's a scary...
They were referred to Iyoko, actually.
Then it's a scary nation. Seriously. Because if a national security problem cannot be handled by national security for over a year, then I wonder the type of reports they are giving to the president. I should be scared in this country. It's scary.
Indeed.
We sat in this country when they were agitating that they wanted to bring Ken Ofori-Atta down. And then they told us that they have arrested, they've detained Sedinam Tamaklo. And for over 4 months, Sedinam Tamaklo is not in this country. And nobody is saying anything from the government. What do you expect the rest to do? They are taking Ghanaians for a fool. And that I expect every person in the general world to ask questions. That where is Sedinam
Tamaklo?
They said they detained her. They've arrested her and detained her in the US. Unless maybe I was dreaming when I read that story.
No, that's what the mission told us.
So where is she? Why is she not down? Why has she not been brought down? These are legitimate questions Ghanaians want to know. Let us stop taking Ghana and Ghanaians and this country for a ride. It's high time we speak truth in power, so that when others come, they can also speak the truth. Because if we don't do that, we will cause this country a lot of harm.
Very well, very well. Let's move on to this matter of the GJA, the Ghana Journalists Association, renewing calls for the repeal of what it describes as repressive provisions within the Electronic Communications Act of 2008, warning that the law is increasingly being used to intimidate journalists. So there's the Electronic Communications Act of 2008. The GJA believes that certain portions of this particular law is being abused. It does not say, but it says certain legal provisions is raising concerns about growing use of certain legal provisions to suppress media freedom and to create fear within the profession.
Because it's not only media freedom that is being kept. When you sit on set and say anything, the next day, by the time you realize you have been arrested, that you said something against the president, his family, or his friends. You have said something against a minister or a chief of staff. And these are growing concerns in the country. It had to take NPP to shout out and say that some of these arrests are unpardonable. They are unacceptable. They whisk you like you are in this thing and put you in handcuffs, cuffs to take you to this thing, Yoko or BNI or wherever it is. When they can even give you just a nice invitation, then you come with your lawyer. When we were shouting out and we were telling journalists that, be careful because it can happen to anybody. They were not listening to us. They thought, oh, you've been in power for 8 years, so let them do it to you. We are Ghanaians, for crying out loud. The abuse of office by this particular government is becoming very worrying. They take people for granted. They think we should not talk because they have goodwill. They keep forgetting. And I keep on telling them that the elections that you won, you do not get any marvelous extra votes. It's the same vote of 2020.
Yeah.
It's the same vote of 2016. You did not get anything extraordinary. It's MPP that lost its guard. Because at the end of the day, there are certain basic things people were shouting out for. Like the DDEP. That was a bitter pill for us to take.
Yeah.
And we couldn't explain it to them before doing that. And people were shouting and crying. Like people asking that we should do reshuffle. Which we did not do.
We did not do. Yeah.
Like people asking that we should change Ken Ofriata. We did not do till die minutes. These were the basic things people were asking us to do.
Removal of taxes, the e-levy then.
The e-levy, which we could not explain to them because we thought that, because at that time we needed the money to run the system. So we thought people are educated enough to understand. But the ordinary Ghanaian just wants to have a listening ear from the people in power.
Yeah.
Today we sit here for, should I say, about 5+ months. We lost a defense minister. We lost an environment minister. We lost people through an air crash. They told us that by November they will get us a replacement. They didn't. They told us we should go for Christmas and come. By January, they'll get us a replacement. We haven't. We are in March. We spent 6th March and we still don't have a defense minister. And we think it's okay. Ghanaians are watching.
Atu is acting as defense.
You think that is good enough?
Or you think he has enough for this?
The defense portfolio is not a joke. How much more to go and add finance, which is not another joke? Is that why cocoa farmers are not being paid? Is that why a teacher can work or a nurse can work for 14 months without getting salary? Because you are focused on doing defense. So you go and create an avenue and take more recruits.
No, but over the weekend they secured financial clearance for to pay some over 14,000 health workers.
After 14 months of cry.
Better late than never.
Yes, it's better late than never. And we've been shouting over it. Maybe that's why they are doing it. But I'm saying that is the problem we have. So take a defense minister to run the defense. Take an environment minister to run environment.
And
look at the degradation going on.
Finance business.
Today when I woke up around 2 a.m., then I said, let me check some messages and things that are going on. Fortunately, unfortunately, I went into Facebook. Then I saw Manese Azuri's Sada 12 years ago. 40-something million Ghana cedis. Is it billion or million? I don't remember.
I can't million.
Million Ghana cedis gone down the drain. And when he was saying it, they are inciting Northness against him because he's speaking the truth. And when you watch the video, there's a watch to the end. When I was watching it, the last question he asked the manager on the Sada project. But if you have trees here already, why do you cut them down and plant another tree, which are already dead? Because you went to plant them in a dry season. Then he held the mic and said, let's talk about that later. And the person is working freely. That is the problem we have as a country. They don't listen. If you've done this in 2012 and it wasn't right, and you keep on doing things in 2026, and we are telling you it's not right, and you would not listen to us, Ghanaians have you to judge.
Very well. Alfred, thank you so much. This has been an interesting session. Let's apologize once again for our inability to field a rep from the NDC, like I did explain earlier. Last minute changes were made, but unfortunately, the replacement was involved in an accident this morning. Our prayers are with him. But Alfred Thompson, thank you so much.
Before I go offset,
right,
the prayers, the love, and the affection is coming from Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and Samira Baumia for our Muslim brothers. Some are ending their fast today. Some will end on Friday. Some will end on Saturday. He's wishing them well. He's praying with them. And he says that believe in him.
Very well.
He will do better.
Very well. Alfred Thompson is an aspirant for the National Treasurer position of the New Patriotic Party, and he's been kind enough to join us this morning for the news review segment on Breakfast Daily. I am Nanatufo Boateng. Many thanks for your time, but please don't go away. The show continues after this.